All right, so far we've gone through, for the Automation Fast Track course, we've gone through the introduction, we've talked through the sales agent, we've talked through the proposal agent. This last one is the onboarding agent. And what that means is it covers the space between when you close the sale and when you get everything set up. For a lot of businesses, it takes some time between, you close the sale verbally, maybe even an email, but then you still need to send the contract over. You still need to put the contract together, send it over, set up the digital workspace where all of your client deliverables are going to be. You have to add the client to that. Have to follow up with them, make sure they sign the contract so you can do all those things. And that can take a while. And this onboarding agent automates that process. It creates the contract based on a template you previously created and the transcripts of the sales calls you've had. It checks to see when they have signed the contract, and when they have, it sends the email to them. It creates the folder within your Google Workspace and adds them to that folder. It's really pretty slick. Saves a lot of time. So let's actually get into showing how it works. Here we have the end-to-end workflow where all of this happens, all this automation happens. This one has 3 automations. This one's rather longer than the other ones. And this is what starts it all. So here we have a Google Sheets trigger. I've pinned the data for this demo, partially because for a couple of these, I no longer have a free trial of PandaDoc. So I've pinned that data. Anyways, so you can see here in the CRM that this is not closed, right? So let's take a look at the closed. Let's check that. I had the call. We closed them. Thank goodness. And then let's run this workflow. And it will take a second. Essentially what this workflow does while it's going through is it checks every hour at the 0th minute to see if there's been a change to the Google Sheet. If there has been a change, then if it not just if there has been a change, but if it's closed. If closed is not empty, which is what we just changed right there, then it goes through the rest of this workflow and prepares the lead data fields. It splits the transcripts for individual processing. It downloads each transcript, extracts it from the file, combines them all, cleans up all the transcripts, and it gets the specific information that we need. And this is where a lot of the work is done. There are a lot of attributes that we need to pull from the transcripts, and that's because we have a template. Now, that template is in PandaDoc, and I no longer have a free trial. But the template, I can show you, as long as I don't modify it, or try to use it. The template itself, this is something that Nate gave us as part of the Automation Fast Track course. It's really pretty slick. Of course, we're not a lawyer. Anytime you do any sort of legal work, you need to clarify that you're not a lawyer unless you are. But this gives us the project title by our first name, by our last name. All of these are attributes that you need to pull from the transcripts, right? And this is why it's so important to cover these items in your calls. If you don't cover them in your calls, you won't have them in the transcript. They won't be automatically pulled in here. So it makes it a lot easier not only to have these descriptions and this template here, but also to include it on one of your calls as a checklist to make sure that you actually cover everything you need to. Because if you don't, this will end up not covering what you need. Now, of course, this workflow accounts for that. It does not send the contract directly to the client. Instead, it sends it to you for review before. And in fact, you can see here, I just received that 2 minutes ago. You can review the document here. Now, what was created, because I no longer have a subscription. I actually think this is the same one that I used during the course. Yeah, been November 10th. but it's not updated because I don't have a subscription anymore. But you can see here that it sent me the link where I need to review it. So if the subscription was still active, I could go into here into PandaDoc, review it, make sure that it was what I wanted. Then I could send it to the client. And that is the purpose of this first workflow. Really handy. Really, really handy. The second one here, of course I can't test it because oh yes, this is something. PandaDoc does not have a native integration with N8N. So what we had to do this time was use a general HTTP request. This is sort of like creating your own native integration with N8N. Just a custom API call where you can call PandaDoc and get the information you need. So I did that a few times up here. This one relies on that as well. If the contract is signed in here, we can see it's not signed. It will check the document status here, check if it's signed. And if the document status is signed in PandaDoc, we will update the contract row, or update the row in the CRM, and then send a welcome email. And this is a template as well. So this is basically just a standard welcome email based on a few conditions, right? In that and then after you have the Calendly call, sorry, you check with Calendly, and every time that something in Calendly is created, it will check to see if it's an onboarding call. If it is an onboarding call, you will get the company name, create the folder, send a call, a confirmation, and all that, and share that with the client. I believe what I need right here, the pinned data is for myself, right? Yep, Statler.Smith369. Is there a different one? No, so it should go to my email. So since that data is pinned, we can execute this workflow, and you can see this work. We're still waiting. Okay. All right. Once that triggers, what if we run this, execute that? Just execute all of them manually. Fantastic. Then we can execute this. Execute this. I should have done this when I had all of the free subscriptions. Let that be a lesson. So instead of manually doing all of these, I am now automatically making them all work. And let me show you what that did. So if I go to my Google Drive here, what this does is it creates a Google Drive folder and shares it with the client. So the client that I was using as an example is Statler Consulting, because I didn't know what else to name it. So that's what it is. Vane, sure, but more like I just don't know what else to do. All right. And I'm navigating there now. Fantastic. So you can see that this Statler Consulting folder was created at 7:28, which was 1 minute ago by me. And it's like, oh look, there's people. What people is it shared with? It is shared with loading. Shared with this nice little loading circle. It's shared with Statler at statlerconsulting.com. So it automatically sends it to them and gives them access to it. So essentially, this set of automations here takes care of all the processes between after you close the call and getting them set up with their own folder in your digital environment. Really handy. Would save a lot of time. So that's the automation. I want to talk a little bit about my experience because this was the last automation in the course. So this last video on the course has given me some opportunity to reflect on my experience in the course and what it did for me. I think I talked about this a little bit in my last video, but putting these together and understanding the the infrastructure behind them, the business reasons for why this would be helpful. It has all helped me to have a lot more confidence that I can add value to a business, right? Now, of course, there's a lot to still learn, right? There's corners of N8N that I still need to learn, but knowing that I can build something that is valuable. Of course, the next step is not to just follow a tutorial, but to do it myself, right? A lot of this was that my hand was being held a lot of the way. I built a few things since then, um, where my hand has not been held all the way, and it's been good. It's been good for me. These automations have been helpful, though. I think that I'm looking forward to do some more. I have a few ideas in the works. Um, so, and then this is the end of the automation fast track for me. However, I am starting another boot camp this week from Leland. They have like Leland, I think, is some education company, and they're doing an AI mastery boot camp. So I will do that and let you know my experience about that. But until then.